here at the Bates Legacy Center, where I volunteered time for almost 7 years. Having 2 aunts that went to school here, my dad that went to school here. So there are really some strong family ties that really made my service here extremely personal. It was started by a businessman, Wiley H. Bates, who was born in North Carolina, and his family migrated to the state of Maryland. And he was a businessman, widely known here in the Annapolis area. But he saw the importance, just like many black families or African American families at that time, of the importance of education. And Mr. Bates invested $500 of his own money to start the school. And the school was in existence from 1933 to 1966. And it was dedicated to black students because at the time, they did not have the educational options that many other students have. So it was targeted for them. However, the challenge was that it was the only school for black students in the entire county. Growing up, I heard story after story from my dad about the great times that he had at Bates High School and the importance of what Bates meant to him and how he was so dedicated, first of all, as a student, to have to get up so early in the morning to travel to the high school. That was the only school for black students in the county. But he used to talk about the friends that he made here, which became lifelong friends. He also spoke highly of the teachers, the educators, who he used to say they became like an extended family, extended parents who invested so much into them. So beyond the academics, but they had people that surrounded them with love, who really was determined not for you just to go to school, but those educators were determined that you would succeed. So they were preparing them while they had them in this nucleus or this center for the bigger experiences that the world would present to them. You know, oftentimes as my dad was talking about these experiences, I used to even wonder, what if Bates didn't exist? What resources or what challenges, what type of encounters would they have had, you know, from in an educational institution? So as a result of their experiences here at Bates High School, many of the students, they were presented with options, primarily from the educators. One, many of them attended college. The 4 historically black colleges in the state of Maryland primarily. For those who didn't go to college, many also, they became business persons, business women and businessmen, apprentices, vocational opportunities. And then there was those students who, with this experience that they gained at Bates, they became even caretakers for their homes. So my dad, after graduating from Bates High School in 1960, he took a year off before going away to college. And then he decided, he was accepted at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and he was an agriculture major. He pledged the very first African-American Greek fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a member of that organization. So just the caliber of leadership and character building that just that experience brought to him all propelled him to his work afterwards as a professor at the University of Maryland. And then from there, he went on to work with the United States Census Bureau and spent many years of his career there. So the Bates High School experience with the teachers and his classmates and those extended families, he would describe it as all as a foundation that propelled him to the excellence that he was able to achieve. The Bates Legacy Center is extremely happy and proud to be part of the Four Rivers Heritage area. History continues to unfold, and the presence and the value that's associated with the Bates Legacy Center continues to be extremely important even in the 21st century, especially for this generation, because it's like a baseline where they can see where a culture has come from during that time and where we are today. To hear those stories is extremely, extremely important. Many of the alumni, they continue to volunteer, they give back in astronomical ways, they offer scholarships, and so they continue their educational legacy component. They offer scholarships to high school students every year. And this is money that the alumni have raised on their own, unrestricted funding, so that they can make sure that students continue to have those educational opportunities. So that just speaks to the value of, even from their own experiences as alumni, and how the legacy of Mr. Bates, of the importance and value of education, continues today.